Hi guys, so it's safe to assume that by now you've probably heard about Cuphead, the Microsoft exclusive released at the end of last month. Now, there has been some debate regarding how hard this game actually is. There have been some people suggesting that many are just exaggerating the difficulty, and then there are others who have said that the game is actually just really the damn devil itself because it's so hard to beat. Regardless of whether one thinks that this game is very hard or not, there has been no debate about the amount of love that the small indie game has been getting from a large part of the gaming community over the past few weeks. You know, looking at these two factors, the debate surrounding the difficulty of the game and then the amount of love the game has been getting, has had me asking the question, what makes Cuphead such a fun and worthwhile experience? In an attempt to answer this question, I found 3 factors that may explain why many gamers, including myself, love Cuphead so much and find it such a compelling experience. Now, I won't lie, I do think that Cuphead is hard. You know, I've actually found myself selecting that retry option more times than I would like to admit, but rather than just getting angry at the game and giving up after failing a level multiple times, I have found myself just wanting to carry on until I beat that stupid arsehole of a boss, just to say that I did. And you know, I actually think that this feeling comes from the fact that Cuphead is a very systematic game. So what you'll do is learn how to avoid particular attacks from a specific boss, learn their particular skill set. So this could be anything from learning how to avoid projectiles to learning the movements of a particular character. You know, once you've learned the patterns of a particular boss, you'll begin to feel as if it's completely possible to beat this boss. But you know, often some stupid mistake on the player's part will prevent this from happening for some time. It's important to remember that you only have 3 health points, and once you've lost them all, you will have to restart the fight from the beginning. So a mistimed jump could lead to a situation where you lose all 3 health points in the very last sequence of a battle. I've had this happen to me, I'm speaking from experience, and it's absolutely terrible and you begin to hate the game after that. However, these situations often lead to these instances where the player begins to feel something along the lines of, I could have beat the boss now, I just made some stupid mistake. Let me try one more time, and I'll totally get past him. And then you proceed to make some stupid mistake, and you find yourself saying that to yourself again and again. The fact that it may take some time and practice to beat a particular level in a rather difficult game ultimately leads to these intense feelings of satisfaction once you actually beat it. You know, there are a lot of people out there who do feel that most modern games aren't as hard as they could be, and that they are often void of any real challenge and so somewhat less gratifying. Thus, Cuphead, with its unforgiving and systematic nature of gameplay that is very reminiscent of older video games, is not only very appealing to those people who quite simply just want a greater challenge in games, but also plays heavily on the brain's internal reward system, making it a compelling game for most players. Now, Cuphead is a game that simply teaches the player the basic control scheme of the game through a short tutorial, and then throws the player into levels expecting them to learn how to beat them through the use of the few moves that they have been taught. Yes, there is an opportunity for players to change weapons or certain special abilities, but overall the gameplay dynamics of the game does not really ever change. You know, basically Cuphead can be summarized as a game where you shoot enemies while trying to avoid their shots back at you. As previously mentioned, as you play you begin to learn the systematic patterns of enemies, making it easier to avoid their attacks and eventually beat them. Sometimes it is only this simplicity that is really required to make a very compelling video game experience. You know, personally, I can't really say that I've really seen any other run-and-gun 2D games that are also based around 1930s cartoon culture, but then I also can't say that I've played every single game out there. Quite simply, Cuphead is a very good-looking game that is accompanied by an incredible soundtrack and doesn't really seem to be like any other game out there, even if its genre suggests so. You know, earlier this year when we saw Horizon Zero Dawn being released, there were quite a few remarks that suggested that although the game did make use of some very familiar open world tropes, both aspects of the game's narrative and gameplay features resulted in a situation where the game felt very new. I don't know many other games where you can fight robot dinosaurs in a post-apocalyptic setting. There's a very similar situation here with Cuphead, as the run and gun genre is very old itself and the hard nature of the game is very reminiscent of older video games, but Cuphead itself seems to provide an experience that may be entirely new for many gamers or one long forgotten for those somewhat older. You know, new IP and new experiences are two ideals that are greatly revered within the gaming community, and so this is definitely one of the reasons why people love Cuphead. Now, as much as Cuphead has annoyed me to no end over the past few days, I hate this game. I will say that it has been one of the games that I have had the most fun playing this year due to the reasons mentioned before, as well as the fact that the co-op feature has allowed for some very exciting experiences. While the notion that the game is very challenging may be a definite turn-off for some people, it is certainly a game worth trying as it provides a great experience. You know, when it's not making you want to smash your controller or keyboard, that is. I am very happy that Cuphead is doing well, and do look forward to seeing Studio MDHR's next effort. So are you playing Cuphead? What do you think about it? Please share in the comments down below, and if you liked this video, please remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.